Welcome back to our second game of A Gest of Robin Hood from GMT Games. The last video was really a learning go at the game. We were making sure we had a good sense of the rules and just kind of vaguely coming to grips with how to play the game, or maybe more accurately play it even remotely well. In this game, we're hoping to play one that perhaps more resembles what the designer had in mind from people playing the game. So with that introduction, we will move you straight into A Gest of Robin Hood. I think our goal here has to be, for once, to get past Ballad 2. It's kind of
sounds good. Well, I'm going to keep playing.
Kind of the bar I'm setting for us.
I'll keep playing the sheriff until we get there.
All right.
Or I'll tell you what. After 5 times of not getting there, maybe we should flip.
All right.
But
let's just see how
part
this
of it
goes.
Is getting used to the events.
Yeah, and
or the plots and deeds. I mean.
Well, also there's like the rhythm of how do you sequence your actions for maximum effect.
There is.
So,
yeah.
Like I was thinking, I need to probably try to like, not have my guys get revealed early, and
yeah,
and that. So okay, so you want to reveal the first?
Well, there was one that I saw that I actually was surprised they didn't do, because they managed to put a bridge down between here and Nottingham. And then I was like, oh my God, just have some henchmen here, confiscate, move, hire, confiscate, move, hire, confiscate.
Can you do that? I mean, doesn't the carriages have to follow the road even if you put a bridge down?
There's a bridge. If there's a bridge between them, do you? That's a good question. We should check that. Maybe that's why they didn't do it, David, but I thought.
Because, yeah, that would be a bit of a winning strategy. I mean, hell, you could do it here, too. I guess there's
that's
no
what I was like. I was like, why are you not doing that? This is easy now.
Yeah.
All
right. Pull a card, and we'll get going. So let's see what this first event is. Yeoman Revolt.
If there are more submissive parishes than revolting parishes, shift 1 step towards order.
Well, I'm going to...
You have a decision to make.
And I think that one's pretty easy, because that's like the amount of time and money it takes me to set a parish to revolting.
Yep.
I think makes it very much worth it. Without henchmen. So I think we will set this one to revolting, because it'll take me forever to get there anyway. Oh, funny. I was just like, oh, shoot, we forgot to move the carriages. That's a little...
Yes, but there are none.
Yes.
I moved them all.
Yes, thank you. All right, your turn. Single plot, plots, and deeds. That's kind of, I like that, because in this first turn, I think it's so tempting. Like for you, it's like such an opportunity to sort of set things up, that plots and deeds has got to be a little bit attractive.
It is attractive. I'm going to do 2 hires.
Yep.
Do 1 in Nottingham.
I'll clean it up for you.
I think we shall do 1 here.
Like it.
And then I think I shall confiscate.
One second. I've literally forgotten where I put Robin Hood. I'm just moving these guys.
That's all right. I gotta put a hidden zone down.
Oh, right. Yep. I should create a version of this mod with the hidden zones.
And then you should send it to me so I have it and can play solitaire.
Yeah. I also want to create a script that builds the deck. That would be the other thing I'd want to do. Because that's just a little fiddly when you have to do it manually.
It is.
Where are you confiscating? Just so I know.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, and after last time, are you going to do it once or twice? Gonna go for twice.
It's early.
It is early, it's true.
Indeed.
All right, next one up. Great Escape. Well, I'm not super... It's not a great one for me, but the thing is it's...
Me neither, because I can reveal men, but then capture, but I don't have any men in any space with you, so...
Well,
unless
depends.
you decide to sneak into one with me.
Well, I mean, and you've actually created a problem with that in some ways, because I, like right now, I can't move too many places without...
Actually, hold on.
Oh, you got him in the wrong place?
Nope, I get the one move.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Good point. You got 2 carriages there now. Wow.
Yeah, I assume that's not illegal, is it? Are you allowed to have... Actually, that might be dumb. How does that work from robbing?
I would imagine I get to choose my carriage, but...
Let's see. Let me make sure you can actually...
Yeah, I think it's worth... So yeah, I don't see anything where it says... I don't see anything where it says that you can't do it. And on the rob thing, it just says you select a target, one of which is a carriage in that space. So I think I would just select...
I think that's fine.
We'll just select which one I want.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay, so then... Okay, so I have to decide what to do now, though. Is... I mean, that event really does kind of like mess up my turn a little bit, right? Because just being out, because I can't really move out into any spaces effectively, super effectively.
That isn't, yes. Well, you can't move into a space. Yeah, you can't get the one that doesn't have me.
Yes, there's no spaces I can get to that don't have you. That's
unless you move it into a space that's already got you.
Yeah.
Damn events.
So I mean, I could like sneak and then do the turncoat thing. I don't know how worth it that is. I think I'm going to single plot it. And I'm just gonna recruit.
I can tell you, I think that was smart.
Yeah, I kind of...
I mean, if you were going to sneak, I assume, would you have snuck there?
If I was... No, I probably wouldn't... Well, yeah, I might have snuck there and then done the... No, I probably would have snuck here and done the turncoat thing here, since this is submissive.
The downside of that is I could have then moved 3 men in here, single plotted, and then captured them all.
Yeah. I mean, that's again, that's always a danger that I have, is I'm always kind of vulnerable to that.
That's the challenge of plots and deeds next to spaces.
Yeah, I mean, and but the thing is, I also like we came away from last time wondering the extent to which you focus on capturing me all the time is actually like taking away tempo from you.
Yep. Well, I feel like now this is an interesting one.
I mean, the event is useless to you, so that's... Well, you can still reveal everybody in a space.
I can.
But then I can just sneak them next turn and hide them all again.
Oh, I believe I'm going to do a... Well, I'm doing that. I believe I'm going to hire... hire.
That's an infinite bag, by the way, so you can just delete your coins if you want, if it's simpler.
There as my, I'm just doing one hire.
Okay.
And then I believe I'm going to ride.
Okay. Interesting.
There.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'm deeply curious why you didn't use your hire to, like, undo one of these instead of putting two guys there. You don't have to tell me if it's like some deep dark secret that's going to give me an advantage.
No. My thinking was to get some pieces up here too.
Okay.
And I have to protect the carriages.
Got it.
And so, yeah, that was the thinking. Whether it's good thinking or not, I don't know.
Heard. All right, let's see where we are next turn with it. It's already playing out very differently than last time.
The bishop. The bishop is quite juicy if you can get him, right?
I'm assuming so.
6 shillings if you manage to rob that guy.
And I'm getting rid of the knight, right? It says?
A knight.
Noble knight?
Not the knight. A knight.
Okay. It says, I assume these are
a knight.
Assume these are the noble knights because they're the only thing in there that says knight.
Probably. There's
anything else in the deck that said knight, and there's two of those.
That would make sense.
Okay. So I remove that.
So you're playing the event?
Oh,
You have a decision to make, man.
I'm just going to reshuffle this since we haven't used it yet.
Oh, hold on a second.
Two
carriages move.
Right. Good. Yeah. So far, I was literally just doing the event because without thinking, I am not going to play this event.
Okay.
So what am I going to do then?
I'm actually going to take one with me.
Okay. So, I think I'm going to, let's see, I think I'm going to plots and deeds here. Give me 1 second to examine these guys. So I am going, let's see, plots and deeds. I'm going to pick this space and sneak these dudes here. That's 1 coin. Right? Oh, I'm looking at your card.
Sneak Yours is a per
1 shilling
origin.
Per origin. Yep.
Yep. That's the interesting difference between the two is you're per origin, I'm per destination.
Yeah. And then I am going to also sneak there. Getting this great printer sound banging out on the video now. Someone's printing out a ton of stuff.
I don't hear it.
All right, so let me think. What am I going to do for deeds? I don't want swashbuckling. Doesn't really do me any good.
Could reveal Robin Hood.
Yeah, I could.
And
absolutely.
And inspire.
Instead, I'm gonna turncoat it.
Yeah. Not surprise me.
All right. That's my 2 plots and a deed.
So I don't think the event's useful enough.
I mean, the 2 shillings is kind of nice. That's the one thing that makes it attractive, right?
Yeah.
But you got 2 carriages that are going to go home in the next 2 turns, so.
Potentially.
I would think so.
I think I'm going to. Higher there. All right.
Got it. All right, don't be a good event for you. That would suck. Robin's
2
horn.
carriages. Well.
Yep.
Come on, coins. Come out. They really bounce.
They do.
They made good bouncy coin.
Look at the physics on them.
And that's 1 towards order, and then that one is actually 2 towards order.
That was not great. But the good news is that if you confiscate more, now it's going to cost you a bunch, right? In terms of like because there's a lot of revolting parishes. But you
There's some insanely revolting.
You are well spread out in terms of like hiring.
Let's see, we still have 7 cards, but the fortune card is one of them. I haven't even looked at the event. A henchman, up to half the number of cards in the victim's pile. That's useless. Robin Hood, and then can attempt to rob. Could be good.
So I assume you're not doing that.
I am not. I am going to do a single plot.
Okie doke.
Control here.
Okie doke.
I swear when other people are playing and I'm watching, I see the moves they should do way quicker. If that makes any sense.
It does.
I honestly, I'm watching and then they're like, they either do what I'm thinking they should do or they don't. And then I'm like, well, that didn't make sense.
So I may as well plots and deeds. The problem is that what I wanted to, the plots and deeds that I wanted to do isn't as good as I've got opportunity for here. This is a little challenging. Because the event is useless to me.
Well, the part of the decision there with giving you a plots and deeds was event's useless and you have 1 coin.
Yeah, fair enough. So, I think with my plot, I got two choices.
3.
Well, not really. No, I don't really have three choices. I have one good choice. Let's put it that way. Yes, quite
Well,
literally, I have three choices. That is true. So, I
do.
mean, the choice I'm facing is I can recruit and place 2 hidden, or I can recruit and just flip those guys.
Correct. Or you can sneak people into there.
Well, I could, but I don't want to do that. I mean, the only place I could sneak.
Well, see, there you had other choices.
It's fair. It's a fair point, but.
And when I say that, those are the choices to try to save the camp.
Yeah, which I want to do. I'm invested in.
I think you should want to do that. I mean, that's one more order.
Yeah. Yeah, and order's already gotten a little bad, so. So I'm gonna. I think I may as well get more guys on the board. I don't know why I wouldn't want guys on the board. So that's my plot.
All right.
And then for deeds,
there's 2 options.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to reveal Robin Hood and set this to revolting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I think I can get him hidden before you can get to him.
You know, just between us, there's 3 cards, and one of them's a fortune card. Yeah. So I have to move. If I chose to single plot, move in, capture him, those are the 2 cards, and he's coming back.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. So, all right. So now we're drawing a card.
Now we're drawing a card.
2 carriages, but there are no more carriages on the board, right?
Nope.
Time to make a profit. The
sheriff may return any number of henchmen to available to gain 1 shilling per henchman returned. And Robin Hood may return merrymen to available to gain half that number of shilling.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I don't think I want to.
You're kind of awash in money right now.
Sort of.
So you're not going to do it?
I don't think it makes sense.
I'm with you. I just want to make sure you confirm.
Sort of a wash in money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it can go away quick.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and send these guys back to available.
I could see that.
And take.
That's 1 coin.
Just get 1. At least then I can do something next turn.
You can do something. Yep.
Yep.
That it?
That's it. That's it for me. Okay.
Nottingham Fair. Replace up to 2 henchmen in Nottingham with merrymen. Remove up to 2 merrymen from spaces adjacent to Nottingham to available.
That is terrible. Ooh, that's terrible. Thank God I took that coin, because if you choose to do that, here I have the ability to replace them.
Yep.
Interesting. That event's interesting to me. Could rob Nottingham.
It is interesting. what I'm going to do is move 2, or pay 2. Once again, I think just single. Hold on a second. Let me look at one thing. What's interesting about that is it made the riding from a ride option a bad one. Well, maybe it made it a good one, actually, now that I think about it.
No, if you got them out, then I can only do it in Nottingham, right?
Yeah, actually, I think it may have made it.
Yeah,
you can.
Yep.
Ironically, it may have actually made it easier decision. Yeah, because there's only one more after this. So I am going to move them there.
So that's a
paid my 2 already.
You paid your 2. This is a
paid
patrol?
my 2 for a patrol.
Okay.
Yep. So those are revealed.
Okay.
That's the only patrol I'm going to do. Then I'm going to ride, I think, up there. I think that's all. Nottingham is all yours.
I just would have to get someone there. Well, I don't think replace up to 2 henchmen. Oh no, I can't do that. Okay, well, so I'm clearly doing a single plot then. Question is, what single plot am I doing?
You could do the event and just get 1 shilling as well.
No, I don't get any shillings.
If you pass.
Oh, if you pass. I could pass. Yeah, I don't think I want to pass.
But you could pass with the event. It's one of the interesting ones to share. I got to remember as the sheriff, you can pass with the plot and deed and get 3 if you're really running low.
Right. So the problem is I can't really rob very effectively right now, you know? Because like, I mean, I could rob here, but I can't really rob.
You can rob there.
You can't rob there.
That one's a challenge.
And this one's a challenge.
That one's a challenge.
Yeah.
That one's not as much of a challenge.
No.
That one's not a challenge at all, as a matter.
No.
Almost guaranteed.
And then it's like,
you know, you're going back to the forest next turn anyway, right?
Yeah, I
Not
do.
next turn, the turn afterwards.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sneak. The only question is, I'm just trying to think of where I want to sneak these guys to. Right? I could sneak them. It's like sneaking them here. I think it's a wash whether I sneak them to Newark or Southwell. Because with one guy in Southwell, like I think the die roll will be the same. Does that track?
Say it again.
So I'm trying to decide whether to sneak him to Southwell Forest or Newark, and I'm thinking if I do a rob, the die roll will be the same because like the rolling the white die versus rolling the green die with 1 henchman, I think is pretty close to the same.
I think it is. I think they're
math.
1 die.
Yeah, they're
different.
like 1 off. I think. Yeah, there's like an extra.
1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then
1.
That's got a -2, then 1. So there's 3 minuses on that one, and only 2 minuses on that one.
But
so
the thing
3
is,
goes away.
but if I roll that here, the 0. Now actually, this one it is a worse chance because this has I have 2 chances here, and I would have 3 chances here. With a +1. No, with a minus.
But you can't sneak and rob.
No, I'm thinking about next turn because I'm going first next turn.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So I think actually... I'm going to go to Newark.
Rob? Well,
No,
he has no henchmen.
I'm sneaking to... No, I'm sneaking to...
You're sneaking there, but I'm thinking next turn to Rob, but that because it's no henchman.
Right, I could have a +2 here.
You can get anywhere from a -1 to a... No, -1 to a +2, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it turns out. I'm like... But I have a...
You'd be rolling on this one. It can get a -2.
Yeah, but but the thing is, I think it's still the same as this with like a 1 henchman, or it's pretty close.
No, I think you're correct on that.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
All right, so that's that. So next up is this is the last card, right?
Yep.
And the good thing is there's no reason for me to not...
Look at that. Set 1 revolting parish to submissive, or remove a submissive marker from the game.
Yeah.
Takes away 1 place that can help me with that number.
Right.
That's an interesting. That eliminates my. Ooh, that's an interesting event.
It is an interesting event. There's no carriages to move.
It's still submissive for rob and capture.
Ooh, so the problem here is more for me is that I don't like the other event. You know what I mean? Because I won't have a chance to respond to that.
Yep.
So I think I gotta...
The nice thing on this one is you're going to go first next anyway. So
one thing that's interesting that isn't included on the card is, does it count as submissive for confiscate? Because doesn't it have to be a submissive parish, or is it just non-revolting?
I'm assuming based on that it does not.
2 submissive parishes with henchmen. Yeah, I mean, it's not mentioned.
But I don't believe it is. It's only for rob and capture.
So you can't confiscate.
Is the way I would read that. And that makes sense.
Yeah. So that would mean...
What I believe it is it can no longer ever be revolting, submissive, or it's just neutral.
Yeah. But
for the rest of the game.
Except as it relates to rob and capture plots, which are like specifically called out.
Right. So now the question is, what do you want to remove?
Yeah, it is. That is a question. Hang on 1 second. I want to just look at something.
That's interesting.
Let's see. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I may remove it from here, because if I remove it from here, I don't have to move these guys back to the forest. Because I only have to move them back from the forest from submissive spaces.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna remove that.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I'm going with it.
I don't know either.
All right, you're up. And remember, there's absolutely no reason to do a single plot, because I'm going first after the royal inspection anyway. So right now, you only got 2 submissive parishes.
Yep.
You do have the ability to, like, flip 2 of them. Then
what's interesting is I can flip 2. I can flip 2.
Yep. Which would give you 4, which would only be a move of 1 towards justice.
And it also gives me an extra 2 shillings.
True.
So.
At a cost of 4 shillings. But yes. I actually think this is a good move, man. I agree with this. Like I know,
however,
I have any idea, but I think that's what I would have done.
now I've got a decision to make. I have no more shillings. My only option would be to confiscate, which would turn one back.
But I think you could
But what
afford
I
to turn.
wonder
I
is,
think you could afford to turn one back because you've got
that's
four.
what I was thinking when I
Yeah.
did two of them because it allowed me to get it to 4.
Yeah.
So it's still just 1, and I can.
Yeah. And you could do. Yeah. I think that's not a bad idea.
Oh, one really, really.
Yeah, because the problem is if
Right.
I hadn't done this event, you very likely would have. You could have still hired and you could have gotten to like +1 order, which would have put you really close to auto winning.
No, I could have still only gotten to. Well, I guess I could have moved. I could have flipped 2.
Yeah, and this one still would have been submissive, although I possibly could have gotten it moved.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. Who knows? All right, so now we got a royal inspection round, right?
I'll tell you one interesting thing in deciding where to put the carriage. I was like, here. Well, no, because then in the royal inspection, if it has to move here, and then I got to move all my people out.
Yeah.
I got a carriage sitting there.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting decisions to make around that kind of stuff. Hey, look, you move the carriage 1.
Exactly. All right, so we move it 1 towards justice, which is what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants justice.
Everybody.
Then Robin Hood gains 1 shilling for each camp in a forest.
You get 1.
So I get 1. And then I can perform a single rob plot.
Tell you where, well,
I mean,
I guess it makes the most sense right there.
Yeah, because I can get +3 there.
Because that's submissive.
Yeah.
For this purpose.
Well, yeah, and I can get +3 here, right? Because Robin Hood, I don't have to reveal him. Well, that's not the one I wanted to gain.
Well, quite frankly, that's probably the perfect place to meet a noble knight if you're going to.
Yeah, because mugging him doesn't matter that much because Robin Hood and one of them, I'll only lose 1 merry man to prison if I do this.
Yeah.
So I would have a +1.
And he's coming out of prison.
Oops. I would have a +1, and I'm rolling the green die, right? Because it's a revolting parish.
Yep.
So anything but one of these -1s. There we go.
There you
I
go.
will take them 5
That's
shillings,
a lot.
man.
That's important right there. I think that may have been a game changer.
I think that was because if I had entered this turn with like 1 shilling, I think it could have been a problem. The other thing now is I can donate, but I don't actually have any place I can donate now that I think about it. Because I can't change this to revolting. By the way, I also want to point out, ironically, I've since decided I'm moving those guys back to a forest because I'm looking, they're like trapped there because they're pinned in by this river. So I've since decided, after all that thinking, I'm just moving them back.
I got 3 shillings coming.
Yep.
Remove half the henchmen from each revolting parish, rounded down. So I think that's nothing.
That's nothing.
Any revolting parish where henchmen outnumber merrymen to submissive. So he flips back.
He flips back. Then you move from revolting parish and forest to submissive spaces.
So these guys got to move. We see now. So now I got an interesting decision. I don't know if that made sense or not.
No idea. And then you can move any others to Nottingham, but you're good with what you've done?
I think that's how I want them. I've got 2 right now in Nottingham. Yep.
All right, so I'm going to move these cats back to here.
Ironic.
Let me just merrymen must move from forests or camps, and others may do the same. And flip all hit. Okay. I think I'm gonna move him back to there.
You don't really want me to know that, though.
But if I'm reading,
I guess I have to know.
If I'm reading the order of operations correctly,
yeah. I had to know.
Then I flip him hidden. So I did it deliberately, but then I did mix him up, so you don't know which one of those he is. Neither do I, of course, but like.
Yeah, but you can move him to the.
But I believe that was correct because
What do you do to make that order change? By the way, what's the?
Oh, I mean, really, all I did was sort them, but I just picked them in a way that I knew it was going to shuffle them up, and I knew you wouldn't be paying that much attention. That's all I did.
Is it literally?
So if you
like, I've seen people change those to be like multiple ones, like these four to in a square, then in a line.
Oh, if you pick them up, and then if you hit the 1 key, it puts them in 1 row. 2 key puts them in 2 rows. 3 key puts them in 3 rows.
Got it.
So you just hit the number key for the number of rows you want.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a great time saver.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. All right.
Okay.
All right. So
and then shuffle the Traveler deck discard. We don't have one. Robin Hood to first eligible.
Robin Hood's first eligible.
Draw the next
card.
Okay. Thanks very much for joining us for this playthrough of A Gest of Robin Hood. Hope you're enjoying our Gest of Robin Hood games. Hope you're enjoying the channel. If you are, it would be great if you could like and comment on the video. Those two things go a long way towards helping the videos get discovered, which then helps the channel. Subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you know when we produce more content is also very useful. And we will see you next time on Agility Snips Gaming Table.